what's going on, guys? This is Jay with Faith Evolved, where I talk about all things spiritual, metaphysical, philosophical, and mental health. And that clip you just saw was just me riffing on my guitar, my little git fiddle, just having some fun. Something I've been doing for over 25 years. It's a joy of mine to play, to sing, to write music if I can. Not the best at writing lyrics, but yeah. So the topic of this video is music is life. In fact, I think music is the most spiritual thing, at least in my experience, that I know of. In the sense that it can change me from being at a place of deep depression, darkness, despair, hopelessness, just feeling down the dumps even, and listening to some of my favorite songs can lift my spirits, pun intended, from the depths to a pretty decent, at least feeling normal, if not, actually feeling a little euphoric or a little happy, joy, peace, just the good emotions. And I really think that music is one of humanity's most powerful tools to get our, otherwise mundane lives, material lives that seem like we just, go through the motions with whatever we have to do, work, school, chores, obligations, family, what have you. It's like, yes, there's things that people do, like meditation or prayer, going to church, worshiping God, whatever the case may be, that does move them to feeling like, okay, there's a little bit more to this life than just plain old everyday existence. And I really think that, for me at least, music has been the most instrumental thing, pun intended. Instrumental, get it? Anyway. Music puns, what can I say? So the point of this is to say that there are some people out there that I think still don't believe that there's something beyond this life. Atheists, agnostics, whatever the case may be, they're not convinced yet. And I say, just listen to some music. How does something that's, of course it's mathematical, there's notes, there's scales, there's, frequencies and stuff, but why should arranging them in a certain order sound pleasurable and evoke a certain emotional response from us? What's inherent in the universe, of the fact that many people believe, and many scientists believe, that we came from the Big Bang, and there's no God or proof of God, at least scientifically, and I would, imagine that there's never going to be full scientific proof of the existence of God. But what is it inherent in, besides some chemical reactions that are going off in our brains? How did we know to relate, certain emotions as good and other emotions as bad or, not undesirable? It just kind of makes me think, again, not a proof of God, but definitely a proof that there's something more than meets the eye. There's something more to this life than just the material existence that we have, this fleeting life that we have on planet Earth of, maybe 70, 80, 90 years. And maybe we'll leave behind a legacy. Maybe we'll have some family, that we can pass on some inheritance to, or some, thing we did in history that changed the world, for the better or for the worse. Maybe you won't be remembered for something good, maybe something bad. But the point is, like, we don't have much to go. We don't really have anything to go on besides the fact that we exist. We can't, many of us, me especially, I don't have, visions or, I never had a near-death experience. I've never had a psychedelic trip where I've had a, mystical experience. I don't have the gift of prophecy. I would say the only spiritual gift that I think I have is maybe intuition, and even intuition could be explained, philosophically or maybe even scientifically. I don't know. I can't see how, but maybe it can be. But to me, it seems like intuition, or the ability to make connections between disparate ideas very quickly and easily, almost like comes like second nature to me. Just seems to be a skill that I have, that I can't explain logically, that I can't explain, in the sense that science can explain it away. To me, it seems like there's something more, and even my limited experience as a human being who doesn't have, many of the other experiences that other people that are spiritual or religious have had. who've had very few experiences in my life that I would even chalk up to synchronicity or coincidences that couldn't be explained away, with taking all the factors that I know of science and nature and math, logic, like taking all those pieces of things and putting them together. I can't go, yeah, that explains why I had that experience. It doesn't. There's no freaking way, Or if I'm thinking about somebody while listening to a song and then they call me. That's actually happened to me today. Is that spiritual? I don't know. This video is not to try to convince you that music or any experience is spiritual, but to get you to think that, maybe, with our current understanding as humans in the 21st century, we don't have all the facts. Maybe something spiritual is just another scientific variable that we haven't discovered yet. I don't know. Most of my life I go, I don't know. A lot of times I get confused. A lot of times I get, mixed up with different ideas and different religious ideas and spiritual concepts. I'm like, I don't know what to believe. But I know music makes me feel good and always lifts my mood. And I know that dwelling on bad things and negative experiences doesn't make me feel better. So in the end, I think if there was a God, I made this argument before, if there was a God was all powerful, had the ability to do whatever he wanted, see whatever he wanted, hear whatever he wanted, knew the past, the present, the future, what have you, what would God want? Out of everything, what would be the highest value to an infinite creator, to an infinite being? Well, what do you do all day? Every single action that you take is to try to feel better and try to avoid pain. So gain pleasure, avoid negative experiences as much as possible. So if God is all powerful, this God exists, I think he would have perfected the idea of feeling good all the time. Have perfect peace, perfect happiness, perfect joy, pleasure, etc., etc. And what would that God probably want to do if he noticed there was other beings in his existence that he could communicate with? When you're feeling good, when you're happy, when you're feeling peace, you genuinely want to share that with somebody else because that increases your happiness and your joy. So, yeah, I think that's, to me, logically, as logical as I can get at explaining what existence is all about. And music, to me, not only seems to affect me that way, but also other people. I would definitely say music is life for me. Life, it's done what so many other things couldn't do. Going to church for 20, 30 years of my life. Trying all these different spiritual practices. Even meditation, which has done, an immense thing to help me get control of my thoughts and control of my mind and slow down the constant chatter and the constant worry and the anxiety. It does a great deal of helping you, I think, at least your sympathetic nervous system, calming it down and just helping you feel more centered. Going out in nature, hiking, or going to the beach, or seeing a beautiful sunset. All those things pale in comparison to what music has done for me. And I think that music is huge because I feel like a lot of other people can relate to this feeling. Even if it's like a song you don't, maybe you enjoy hip hop and that gives you that feeling. Well, I don't feel that way with hip hop, but I do feel that way with melodic metal. Melodic metal, which to other people sounds abrasive and aggressive and annoying and noisy. But for me, it just seems to work. It seems to lift my mood and make me feel happier. But it can also have negative impacts too. I mean, I saw this meme once on Facebook that I think it was Lisa Simpson sitting in the car with her headphones saying, I got to replay the songs. It didn't hurt me enough. So there were some times when I was going through depression that I couldn't play certain sad songs because it would trigger me to sometimes cry or sometimes just, feel stuck in that mood that I'm already in. It can reinforce a negative emotion as well. But you do have the choice to put on something more pleasurable, something more uplifting, more positive, and it can help lift your mood as well. So I think there is a double-edged sword with it. It can reinforce negative emotions as well. But even that, think how powerful that is. A song. I went through 20 years of my life without being able to cry. But putting on a song, would make me cry sometimes. Even like the weirdest emotion that I felt while listening to a song, I would say, is Story Time by Amaranth. And right at the end of that song, I can feel the goosebumps now. Just the end of that song where Annette goes, whoa, 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 something like that. And that just gave me like chills and maybe almost cry, like get misty eyed. And I was trying to analyze the emotion I was feeling. It's like a feeling of, I'm gonna butcher the crap out of this, but it's like a feeling of sad hopefulness. Like, man, life is so tough and it can be so lonely. And the way she's saying that just made me feel like I'm not alone in that feeling. And there's some kind of awe and hope to look forward to. But I'm still sad. I'm not like feeling, amazing necessarily at that moment. But I'm definitely feeling like the frequency is moving up a little bit from a baseline into a more positive. Even though it still kind of seems like you're on the outside looking in, you're not quite at the mountaintop of happiness and joy. It's like it's pushing that lever in the right direction. So certain songs have the ability to evoke emotions that nothing else can. And that's why I say music is life, because it literally makes me feel alive again. It makes me remember, oh, I'm not just the separate being going through life, with, complete detachment from everything else. And if I die, nobody will remember, and I won't even remember. I'll just be poof, gone, just like a speck, a flicker of light that just got snuffed out by the wind, like just nothing, Like, music reminds me again what it feels like to be a little bit alive, and sometimes a lot alive. Sometimes I'll be in my car driving down the street and I'll have a song on. It just hits me the right way, and I'm singing along to it, and I hit the right notes to all the, to the whole melody of the song, and I'm just feeling pretty good about that, and feeling the lyrics, feeling the emotions that the song is trying to convey, and it makes me feel alive, like nothing else can, and it just reminds me, there's something more to life. When everything else makes me feel empty inside, or at the very most, just okay. So, yeah, what I would tell people out there is, if you're feeling down and you can't find something else to get you out of that funk, just listen to your favorite songs. Even if at first it doesn't do anything for you, because sometimes it takes a little while for that frequency to build up in your body and your body to get used to it and start, changing, hormones or chemicals in your brain or whatever to start feeling better. So I noticed that it can take about 5-10 minutes, but it can pull me out of a depression pretty quickly, or even anxiety sometimes too. All right, so speaking of music, if you're not one of my personal friends or family members who follow me on Facebook or Instagram, what have you, you may not know that I'm also now a lead singer of a band here in Chesapeake/Virginia Beach called Idolas. And I actually auditioned for them, I believe it was in July this year, and they hired me on the spot. So I was super happy about that, super grateful and humbled to be a part of this band. I feel like I finally met a group of guys I can just hang out with while we're practicing and recording, and after as well. Like, we'll go bowling or go to the bar or what have you, just hang out and be friends. So it's awesome that I have almost like a tribe now of some awesome down-to-earth dudes, no egos. They're just, true blue people. And we already have a single that we released on December 9th this month, and it's called The Time for Kings Is Now. So on pretty much any music streaming platform like Spotify, you can check out The Time for Kings Is Now. We have a YouTube channel called Idolas as well, and I have a live video for Becoming the Ally. So I'm super stoked, I'm super happy about it. We're going to have an EP coming out sometime mid-February. I just finished laying down the vocal tracks. And yeah, the songs just have to get mixed and mastered by none other than our wizard, Alex, who's the drummer and pretty much I would say the leader of the band as far as when it comes to, getting us all together to his house and practicing and jamming and recording, and he mixes everything and masters it. He's a genius. So I'm super happy about that. And we'll have some more shows. Already did a couple of shows this month and last month. So I have one more in Richmond, February 25th, I believe. So super happy about that, and grateful because I've been looking and praying for something like this for so long. I feel like it's been decades, at least since I've been playing guitar when I was 15 years old and singing shortly thereafter. I've always wanted to do a band, and I've been in a couple bands throughout the years, but we only had demos and we played a few local shows. We never really had anything as promising as this. So I'm super happy. Everybody's chill. And I think we're going places. So please check us out, idolasband.com. And thank you for coming to my channel today. If it's your first time here, welcome. Please check out my other videos as well and see if anything resonates. And if it does, I'll be humbly appreciative of you subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, and hitting that notification bell so you get notified anytime I release any new videos. All right, thanks for stopping by. Thanks and God bless, and Happy New Year.